Stocks are up.
Yeah, beer stocks are always on the rise, folks. No matter what.
On the rise. That was a pretty sweet intro. We brought it in hot, ladies and gentlemen. Like cutting edge graphics. We're here to tell you about beer.
And I'm Shagdog. I'm with Jammerfan, a.k.a. Shagdog fan. And I'm doing Yuengling.
New Belgium Mountain Time, which is basically my Yuengling here in the West.
Oh.
We don't it's harder to get Yuengling out here. I don't just see it I can't just buy Yuengling at the corner market. I could probably buy it somewhere, but it's not just Yuengling's everywhere, Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. Here it's everywhere.
Paradise,
Yeah, because, it's Pottsville, Pennsylvania, but we have a brewery here in Tampa also, so.
Yeah.
It's all over down there.
The West, we got to fend for ourselves. I'm going to do a little pour here. The mountain time.
Matter of fact, when I lived in Pennsylvania, which was from 1987 to 1991, I occasionally saw Yuengling. Even though it wasn't that far away from where I lived, it was like an hour drive away. I didn't see
Is this paler than Yuengling? Is this this is a crystal clear golden honey? How does this? Yeah, this is clear. Yeah, this is different than Yuengling, but it definitely has a doughy blast. So one of the things I hear people criticize this beer about is that it's got 130 calories per 12-ounce bottle or can rather, and it's only 4.4%. But when you drink the beer, it does have like a doughy honey kind of backbone to it. There's no honey added, but it's got like that flavor. So I'm curious, can we look up the calories for Yuengling? What's the alcohol in that Yuengling and what's the calories?
Let's see if I can Google it.
What's the ABV? You should know that, right?
Oh, yeah, let me get that. The Yuengling is, for your Mountain Time, according to the Beer Advocate, is American lager, not an adjunct lager, but a lager. 4.4% New Belgium Brewing. Yeah. It says rotating seasonal, which I'm not sure if that's true or not. And 81 on Beer Advocate. And then the Yuengling is 78 Beer Advocate. It's American Red Amber Lager, 4.5%. And it's year round. Let's see if I can Google the calories.
Yeah.
That's right.
4.7 you said, though, for the ABV?
Yeah, I think so. Is that what I said?
So it's got a little more alcohol, so it could have
4.
a little.
4.5.
4.5?
4.5.
So pretty close. Pretty close. We're pretty close on the ABV.
My phone battery's right there. Yuengling calories. My phone's dead. Calories. Let's go. 140 calories for a 12-ounce.
And mine's 130 for 12 ounce, and yours is 4.5. Mine's 4.4. Sounds pretty even. Even. Because yours does have more alcohol, technically. So
on this, it says 4.7% alcohol, but on Beer Advocate,
it says 4.7. But it's weird with some of those adjuncts, it's hard to pin down the ABV on.
Well, this supposedly is an adjunct. It's supposedly a red amber lager.
Oh, it's a red amber, so it's not an adjunct.
Right.
Huh.
Now, do they use adjunct and say it's a red amber lager? I don't know.
Well, we both have very different beers, but they're similar scores, similar ABVs, and similar calories.
Right. Now, with the Yuengling, it's more of a, almost. It's not bad. My brother loves this stuff, but it's kind of a little bit toasty. Bready, a little hoppy. It's nothing really special, but it's different than your typical adjunct lager, I guess.
So this one's different, but the same in a weird way. So it's not toasty at all, but it smells like Wonder Bread white bread, like if you were to open a truck of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it has a Saaz hop, kind of like a German Pilsner back end, where there's like some honey and some sulfur lit match and some of those kind of like floral hops that you would get on like a Czech Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no caramel. I mean, look how golden this thing is. It's just so delicately like I almost wish that it was darker. Like the Yuengling in some ways, I almost get burnt out that this doesn't have any of those caramel flavors. Right. But at the same time, it's just so crystal clean and smooth. And even for light beer, the head is still, you can look at this, the head is still hanging around.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. It's just like a little, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like kind of like a little wafer hanging on the top. Just it's not going away.
Right. Yeah, it looks good. I think Jammer might like that one.
I think you guys can only get it in the mix pack because I think that here in Colorado I can get it because I'm local and they sell it in 12 packs and they sell it in cases.
Right.
It's $20 a case, man, which isn't bad. That comes down to $5 a 6-pack.
Yeah, so bad, yeah.
That's I think in the mix pack there's IPAs and stouts and other stuff in there, so I think it's kind of the cheap beer that they're throwing into the mix pack to kind of save money.
You remember the day when like 6 packs cost like $3, and then when they went up to like $3.50, you're like, holy shit, $3.50 for a 6-pack.
And now finding some for $5 or $6 is it's a find, right?
Mm-hmm. And most times you paid 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, depending on what kind of beer it is.
Well, granted, with Mountain Time, you have and New Belgium just released this. You have to buy the case. They don't sell it for $5 a 6-pack, but the case is $19.99 for a 24-pack.
Oh, okay.
Which isn't bad for this beer. I mean, and it's not an adjunct lager. There's no corn or rice or anything in this. I just buy it by the case because I'm poor right now, and I'm like, okay, it's better than. Honestly, I was going to say it's better than Budweiser, but I can walk to the Budweiser brewery from my house. I'm not close.
Is it cold over there right now?
Yeah, we had a cold. That's why I'm wearing this stuff. So we actually had an 80-degree day 2 days ago, but today is kind of. I don't want to try to turn the camera, but it's one of those days where a cold front blew in and it's really windy. And with wind chill, it's probably like, I don't know, 25 out, 25 or 30.
Wow. And you had an 80-degree day the other day? Wow.
The temperature is like 44, but with the wind chill, it's really windy. It feels a lot colder. And it's colder in the house, too. I mean, at least there's some sun, so it doesn't feel like super dark. But, yeah, dude, 2 days ago we had 8. That's why the Colorado logo has, like, the sun and, like, the snowflake and stuff in it. And, like, when you see people design it and stuff, like, it's we definitely have a mixed bag of weather here. I mean, it can go from cold to hot pretty quick. But then once we get into summer, then it's like, oh, shit, okay, it's just going to be hot all the time. But our spring is, fairly unpredictable.
Yeah. Here, I'll play it. I don't know if you can hear this, so you won't be able to hear it. This is the Army guy. He used to watch our beer reviews. Let's see if I can find him. No, he's not there. What the hell? Okay, there he is. This is what he said about the beer review. Let me unplug this so you can hear it. I don't know if you heard it earlier.
No.
Thanks for the comment.
Oh.
I'll never forget. It started back in July with the new channels. So it's just called...
Oh, shit.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I remember you would send some of the links and share it. I'm kind of interested why it got canceled, though. So if you got hand sucks, you got to start all over again. I think I remember the one I really remember is because you did Shiner beer.
Shiner beer. We used to do Shiner beers because he's in Texas.
Went to a club every one day when we were stationed overseas. Swallow beer.
All right. I mentioned something to him when we were in the Army about he used to have those glow things, the bands you wear around your neck, your wrist. He had a whole shitload of them, so he would try to sell them.
Glow things, that made me laugh. The memories. Yeah, I ordered them someplace I found, and they shipped them to me. And then I was trying to get this club to buy them, and he bought some, but it didn't work out.
I remember the club
entrepreneurship, but yeah, that made me laugh.
He was trying to get a club to sell them, so that was probably a club we used to go to called Pottsville. Because he'd come into Pottsville with a whole shitload of these things, and try to sell them or whatever. And I was like, man, what the hell?
You guys used to get into a lot of trouble, man. That's all I know.
Who's
you
that?
guys got into a lot of shenanigans.
Jammer?
Both you guys. Like,
yeah.
So, I was on one of Ron Terry. I was on Ron Terrio's, like, I guess it was like his anniversary stream about a year ago, maybe 6 months ago.
I missed that.
And he saw my Jammer handle. He knows who I am and that I like you guys.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, did they ever tell you about when they came down to, Louisiana? And we went out and we got like fucked up. So yeah, he told me some funny stories about you guys.
Yeah.
Like you guys got tore up. You guys got fucked up in Louisiana, man. Like fucked up.
Well, he slowed us down actually. But the first day we met, he came to our hotel room and then we went out by the pool and set up and we did a beer review there. And that was the first time we showed our faces. Everybody's saying, "Hey, you need to show your face. You do your face." We never did it until we met him, and then that's Jammer bought the wigs and the mustaches, and that's the first time we did our face on beer reviews. And he's like looking at us like, "What?"
I like that. That's pretty funny.
And then he went to church. He went to mass actually. First he took us out to lunch, and then we came back. Then he went to mass. So we're waiting for him. He goes, "I'll come back after. Show you a tour. Give us a tour around, Bourbon Street, that area. Not Bourbon Street mainly, but some of the other streets." Took us around. We went to the casino. Went on a showboat or whatever. Yeah. But we weren't drinking that much that night. But the next day, I figured, well, that was all around the riot. We're never going to see him again. So the next morning, we wake up. I'm like, when we got done that night, me and Jammer hit Bourbon Street, but we were kind of sober.
Yeah.
And there's so many drunks out there. We're like about 9, 10 o'clock at night by the time Ronald Riot left. We got out there, and so many drunk people were like, "Yeah, let's go back to the hotel." The first night we were drunk, though. We got there. We didn't meet Ronald Riot. Yeah, we drove from Florida all the way there from 6 a.m. We got there at like 4:30 p.m. And then we hit Bourbon Street. We were tore up that night. The next time we met Ronald, and then he took us on a tour. And then the next morning after we met him, is we went down to Bourbon Street, go find some Bloody Marys. There was only like one place open. We found it 9 in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah, he was saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we started drinking double Bloody Marys, and he calls. He's like around the corner. Goes, "Hey, I'm down. Where are you guys?" We're right here. He goes, "Oh, I'm like 2 blocks over." So I'm like, "Shit, I can't drink." But I already had enough Bloody Marys. By the time we got to his car, he's like, "Take you on a tour of North New Orleans," and we're like, "Okay."
You guys must have just been completely fucking destroyed by then.
Well, Jammer stayed awake for the whole thing. I fell asleep in the back seat of Ron's. I think he had a Challenger or one of those type of Dodge cars, Yeah. And then the next day I'm waking up in the afternoon. I guess it was like 3 hours I slept back there. He did a 3-hour tour, kind of like Gilligan's Island of North. So we pull over and Jammer wakes me up. He's like, "Wake up." I'm like, "Well, where are we at?" And we're at some place. They're famous for ice cream. I'm like, "They got Bloody Marys?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Damn." So we went there and had some ice cream, and that was it. And then me and Jammer, at that point, it was like 5:30. It was our last night. We hit Bourbon Street, and we started drinking until about 9. At 9 o'clock, we're like, "You know what? Let's go back to the hotel, go to sleep. Let's leave here by 3 o'clock." So we left at like 3 or 4 in the morning, so we could get an early start to head back home. Which is stupid, but it's probably Jammer's idea.
That cracks me up. No, I've heard that story from a couple different perspectives. And
the first night we were there, though, we drove. I worked 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., so I worked all night long.
Yeah, like I heard you guys were already. It wasn't fair because you were already pretty like fucking tired and shit when you started.
And Jammer, but he lived in St. Pete at the time, but he drove up here to Dade City, which is probably about an hour and a half, an hour and 15 minutes from. And I said, "I'll get off work. I'll meet you at your parents' house." We met at his parents' house. I said, "You're driving." We took my car, but I said, "You're driving." I've been there.
And then he just let you guys motor down there and just got fucked up.
I probably got like an hour sleep total drive there because he's a weaver. He's a weaver.
Yeah.
He's like in and out of traffic. And then he played me one time. He's like, "Hey, we're still on." He wakes me up. He's like, "Hey, we're still on I-75." I'm like, "Really?" I said, "We can't be on I-75 still. It's been like 2 hours already because I-75 then up to I-10 and goes across."
Yeah, and you're like, "There's no way." And then
there's an I-10 sign coming up, and he sees it, And he goes, yeah. He goes, hey, look at that deer over there. He's like trying to get me to look to the left, stay away from the I-10 sign. And then I said, there's an I-10 sign, you motherfucker. I know you're playing me. There's an I-10 sign right there. And he's laughing. That was pretty fun. So we got there about 4:30, but that whole night, surprisingly, he got more messed up. I've been up pretty much all day and all night. We get there. We drank about the same amount, but he did one drink called a Jester. I didn't drink it. I said, I don't want that. He drank that crap, and he was tore up. I had him over my shoulders going back to the hotel, And then he wanted to get a pizza. There was a Domino's on the way back to the hotel. We were probably about 5 or 6 blocks away from Bourbon Street. And, he's like, I want to get a pizza, so we stopped at Domino's. And there were some girls there. They were from St. Pete. And he's like, oh, I'm from St. Pete. How did you get here? And they're like, oh, we flew. You flew here from St. Pete? He's going on. I'm like, let's go, dude.
Well, I'm glad you bring up pizza because I have a rant about pizza, Shagdog. I can no longer, because of my doctor's orders, I can't just eat a frozen pizza or order like a pizza from Domino's because guess why? The sodium content. Are you aware of how much like fast food and diner food and frozen food, are you aware of the salt that's in this shit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot.
And it's like, are you aware that the Heart Association is like, hey, you can only have 1,000 milligrams a day? And everybody's like, 1,000? Well, that sounds like a lot. Well, like one McDonald's quarter pounder is like 3,000 milligrams of sodium, and that's before you add fries or ketchup or anything to it, or cheese or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, fuck, it's you have to just like make your own food. Like I've just been like cooking everything from scratch and buying whole ingredients.
It has been like that forever, and really it's the elite's way of trying to kill us off early.
I mean, I wouldn't argue with you for the fact that like, so if you don't have any salt, you'll die. Like salt used to be a currency. You're a student of history, Shag. Do you remember when salt used to be?
Right. I mean,
it was part of the spice.
The Vikings gave the Middle Easterns salt for gold because the Vikings were like, But the Middle Easterns knew salt preserves stuff,
Yeah. But now it's like something that will fucking kill you when it's in like all the easy to get cheap stuff. Like if you're poor or whatever, right? Like you just get like fast food. Have you ever heard of these food islands or certain areas where there's like not even access to like proper nutrition and food? I don't know if I don't, I know that you and Jammer think I'm like a crazy liberal, but I'm actually like really like pretty much a centrist. But I feel like anytime I talk about like, corporations doing something, you guys are like, whoa, rain of
Well, actually, some of the corporations are part of the problem.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they are. Particularly if you guys have been in beverages and stuff, did you guys feel like that those companies were worried about the health of people or just like making money?
I feel when I worked the health, probably making money. I mean, they did have we had the USDA office there that they inspected it. We had our own quality, which Jammer used to work with the quality.
But I just mean like when you were talking about how the grapefruit smell would make you gross out, like you guys were making concentrates, so like fresh squeezed or fresh pressed juice is more healthy. But in defense of what you guys were doing, somebody could honestly make an argument that pasteurized juices, especially that can be stored for a long time in like a little frozen container that you see, or a powder, actually can strengthen the supply and food chain in America because we have these things. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They usually don't have a lot of preservatives. They're just, like you guys even talked about, they actually boil the flavor and the smell out, and they have to add that back in later, right? So they're like condensing it. Yeah, go ahead.
Certain things it was called rework, and they would evaporate it, basically. Yeah. Evaporate the water out, and they'd use it as rework. So basically, whatever they got out of it, they put it back in. Yeah, like flavoring or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't work in that department, but they would take the bad stuff and then take it over there and rework it. and send it back. And then actually, when you got that was low quality stuff though. When you got it back to produce stuff with it, it didn't smell too good. It smelled like fake orange juice, when it came in, like we had something called premium, which is almost like fresh squeeze, like in barrels. We'd have actual orange juice in barrels. It'd be in the freezer, it's frozen most of the time. And if it was too frozen, we'd have to send them through these, when we're producing stuff, through this, big thing of a thawer. So send it down that, thaw it out a little bit, enough where you just dump it, went into an agitator, broke up the ice, whatever. But when they were doing rework stuff, I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're still making juice out of this." So it might have been like the cheap juice that they use that for, probably store brands or whatever,
No, it's interesting. Like you guys really got a good idea of like what the supply chain was all about in your careers. You guys got to see that kind of stuff, how it works.
It was interesting with the company we worked for there because they were the biggest supplier to chain supermarkets, like Piggly Wiggly, up Tops, which is up north in New York, wherever. There was a bunch of different stores that we were the main supplier for their store brand. We were the biggest store brand supplier. Yeah, we did have Sunkist, and we had a contract with Sunkist for a few years, and then we had Florida Gold, some other Florida one, but yeah, the Tropicana is Coca-Cola, Minute Maid. Is that Coca-Cola? I can't remember. Tropicana, Minute Maid, or other companies, but
they own something like that. But real quick, we have to give a shout out to any viewers. Tech 9, boom, boom, boom. It's the Tech 9. I'm trying to give him an advertisement like it's the Tech 9.
Yeah, Tech 9. Yeah, we had one viewer earlier. I don't know who it was. No comments,
but yeah, and then wrong finger. The Jammerfan poking his head. He's the Jammer man. Jammerfan.
He's oblivious. Doesn't even know we're doing beer reviews, probably.
But also, look at this. Look at my finger. I'm poking towards you, Shagdog. I'm a Shagdog fan today, sir.
There you go.
Shagdog fan today. I was thinking about your videos. Did you guys know that you had a video, I think, that had almost 1 million views? It was that Miller Lite video or something?
Recently?
But it was on the old channel before it got deleted.
Oh, no. It was that was the Old Milwaukee's Best. Oh, wait.
Oh, okay.
Old Milwaukee Light, or one of those.
It was like 900,000 or something. You guys were about to hit 1 million on it.
Yeah. It might have been the Old Milwaukee's Best or Old Milwaukee's Light or something. I think it was the one we had. One of those special videos at the beginning, like either not Starsky and Hutch, but TJ Hooker or one of those ones. I can't remember which one.
It was one of them. It was pretty badass, man. So you guys really did have like a crazy channel, and I give you guys credit for coming back from the ashes, man, and just keep going.
Yeah. Maybe we should change our name to the Phoenix Beer Review, huh?
No, I like to keep going, but again, I'm gonna look, just like poking the jammer.
Yeah. Did you watch that whole whiskey review we did? It's an hour and 40 minutes long. Did you see him when he went into French mode? He's like doing a French accent.
I remember that. Yeah.
I was like, he kept it going for like a good 15, 20 minutes. I was like, wow.
I watched it sober, so I had to clean the entire kitchen, including like dishes, the floor, everything. I actually had a 3-hour cleaning job I needed to do on my kitchen. And you guys I swear it felt like you guys went that long. It was a really long time, but it was pretty hilarious. I remember all the French stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go in there and edit that one of these days. It's going to take me like 2 or 3 hours to edit that video just to cut some of the, short talk.
It will be epic because there is some good meat in there, man. You guys did some funny shit in there. Like how you guys were drinking that. What was it? I'm with you, dude. It was a set. So he was trying to say the expiration date was 2017, but that Bailey's was manufactured in 2015.
All right.
So you guys, that was 6-year-old Bailey's Irish Cream you guys were doing.
Yeah.
So,
it tastes like it, too. It tasted like paint thinner.
Or just probably like death, like a fucking grave. And I'm surprised. I actually was wondering if you guys were going to die for like a couple days after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, obviously you didn't, but like I was like, oh shit, I hope they at least come on and do a video of like, hey, we're dying, thanks for watching.
Yeah, it wasn't smart. I mean, the whole time I'm like looking for Bailey's Irish Cream. Yeah, and then he has a box. He had the box set. He should have kept that. Actually, he should have kept it in the box.
Yeah.
Actually, but
no, it's funny because
Jammer have some nice shot glasses.
Jammer kind of acts like a stoner when he gets like messed up enough on. He's just like, hey, let's try this funny thing. Like he does he does stuff like that. He does hijinks. He does shenanigans. That was like that was like a stoner shenanigan moment. And I was like, oh my God, I thought you guys were going to die for real. I was just like, they're done, man.
He does do that when he gets drunk. It's like, let's do this. Oh, it won't kill us. But
I like it. It's like a Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. You guys should actually try to go to White. I don't think there's any White Castles. Are there White Castles in Florida?
Not that I'm aware of. There might be one in Jacksonville, I think. Maybe.
All right. Well,
we got something down here called.
Jammer go to White Castle. That's might be.
There's a place that's like White Castle. It's called the Crystal or something like that.
Oh, dude, that place is bomb too. Have you guys been there?
I've been to one. It's in Tampa. Yeah, there's one in Tampa, I think.
Have you been to Crystal?
Yeah. That was many years ago. It was kind of like White. It was like White Castle. They had little hamburgers.
No, they had little hamburgers, but it's supposed to be bad. I mean, man, maybe you didn't get enough because you're supposed to go there.
I went there one time. It was like probably about 15 years ago.
I think you need to go there if you've had a couple drinks and you're ready, maybe even a little puff off a J or two, and you're ready to get some food on.
That's fun.
Although I heard that like Jammer's trying to get you to get your medical license so that you can get him weed.
I don't know. Did he say that?
I'm joking. That's a joke, man. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm
He might have said that.
I'm busting your chops. You guys vaguely mentioned it once, but you're like, nope, I'm not doing that. Like, you obviously wouldn't say that on air. I'm just busting your guys' chops.
I wouldn't mind doing it because I said before one time I did it a few years back. I could actually see really good. I was like, smokes a little bit, and then I was like drinking and driving. But with that, it helped me drive better.
So I'll be honest with you, man. I'm in Colorado, which is a legal state, so I'm not breaking any laws by saying that I've tried some of the medical marijuana strains around here. They've helped me with so many medical issues. And you just see that, like, recently, due to a lot of states, like, even in the past couple weeks, they're like New York came out and passed legislation within 2 weeks to just legalize it. New York's legal now, dude. New Jersey, like, almost the entire eastern seaboard is just legalizing down towards you guys. And
we got medical now.
You already have medical too. So it's just like how long until they do that. But I understand right now that you probably have to be like, hey, I can't say like, oh, I'm going to get Jammer weed or something.
Yeah, I hate some of these states. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here in Florida, but they're like on the double jeopardy law of, well, if you got your medical marijuana card, you should be able to own a gun. If you're doing I'm like, if the medical marijuana don't get you high or anything, right? It's like the
CBD is what you're talking about. And there's a lot of medical strains that, there's strains you can get where they don't even get you any kind of effect. And that's actually usually what I like to get.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm not sure how bad your eyes are, but does it help you see better?
I've got pretty good eyesight, but what you're talking about is the effect of like marijuana actually is like very good for a lot of ocular issues.
Yeah, like
it has to do with something they call interocular pressure, which is the pressure inside of your eyeballs, which not only is with glaucoma, but it has to do with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So as that pressure increases, it expands the blood vessels, which push on the lens of your eye, which make your vision blurry. So the whole idea is to take that inflammation back, to take that pressure down. Right. Cannabinoids, which are the active drug that you find in things like hemp and cannabis, they do help very well with eye issues.
Uh-huh.
I used to work at a shop. I actually worked in the industry before, so I've got training and stuff. I'm like, I didn't work at a pot shop, but I worked at a CBD shop where we just sold hemp. We didn't sell weed. We just people don't realize that hemp is a mutation of cannabis that does not produce THC but produces CBD instead. It can still flower. It still looks like pot, but it just doesn't have THC in it.
Wow, that was too much science. Too much science. Wait, hold up. Hold up.
We have.
I'm trying
we
to
have
do
some
science.
action. Do we have?
Okay, science.
Science. But I will shut up now, Shagdog, and
Yeah,
I will
that was
just
a
say
lot.
that
I didn't know there's different CBD, HBD, DB,
yeah, no,
BBD,
it's very different.
BBD,
Very
Bell,
different.
Biv, DeVoe.
Yeah.
Now you know. Yo, slick blow. That's old school. You know who BBD is, right? Bell, Biv, DeVoe. You ever hear of them?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of GeoCities? You can hit Shagdog up at geocities.com/Shagdog.
What the hell is GeoCities?
It was before even MySpace. GeoCities
really?
was like the first MySpace, or it was just like a page you could put stuff. Ask any old school nerd what GeoCities is, and they'll smile and laugh.
It sounds familiar, but I never looked at it. I guess I
Hopefully
never
some of
looked
our
at it.
viewers are. Do we at least have a half a viewer? I'd be happy with a half of a viewer.
They won't show you that. But I tell you what I miss about MySpace, and this company or whoever produced it left MySpace before MySpace went down and Facebook showed up.
Yeah.
But it was their karaoke thing they had on the MySpace. It was by K Solo. They had the best karaoke setup ever. I mean, you could do karaoke. Other people on your MySpace could listen to you or whatever. And even it was a community within MySpace for K Solo, karaoke. And you could do the reverb, echo, everything. I mean, you could you could do double videos. Like I could do a video and then email it, hit the button, it emails it to Jammer, and then he could do, say it's a duet or something, and he could watch mine and sing along with it. So it had and publish it. That was great. Now I did do one called Sing Snap the last few years, for a while now, and they just revamped their whole system and they screwed it up when they revamped it. It's like, how you gotta on that website, you gotta sync once you record it, you gotta go back in there, edit it, sync your voice with the volume, music. It's not lined, so you gotta I gotta line my voice correctly. Well, now you do that. And even though you do that, when you watch it publicly, it's still not aligned. So I'm like, wow, that's horrible.
Well, Shagdog, I may have to leave you here. Are you going to go on after this video? Are you going to keep going? I can probably watch. I don't think I can participate past this one, but I can watch. I can keep continuing as a viewer.
No, I like to do more, but it's getting dark out here. Mosquitoes are getting out. And I got to eat dinner and think about the beer review. You offered for me to come over there and do the beer review with you and be a roommate, so I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, come on down and live with us. For sure.
I'm sure I could do DoorDash around there. So, but no, I can't leave Jammer. He's my buddy. So
yeah, you guys, you cannot leave Jammer. You can't leave Jammer.
He's getting bad in his old days, but he's still the same old Jammer.
Yeah. Well, cheers, buddy. It's been good hanging out with you. Cheers.
I got a sip left.
And it's been a good time, man. That's why I just want to leave on a good note. Just like had a good time, jammed it out.
I hope it gets warmer over there.
Oh, it will. I mean, that's kind of how it is around here, man. You got a day at 80 and a day at 40. And how it goes. But it's we're getting towards the warmer times. So
yeah, I hate it. Oh god, it's getting too hot here. It's like by 2 or 3 now, it's like 85 or something like shit.
Yeah, the heat's coming back, so it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
There's a few places in the world where it's kind of temperate. The whole,
like all the time.
But like Ecuador, where you're up in the mountains, you're by the equator, but you're up in the mountains, so it's kind of like the average high is 75 and the average low. I mean, way up in the mountains, higher than Denver probably, and the average low is like 52. All year round.
So I've been to the Virgin Islands out near St. Thomas, and which isn't too far from you guys, and it's honestly like 70 degrees there all year long, like 70, 72.
Yeah, probably because a good sea breeze, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like there are a few places, but then they get like crazy hurricanes and tropical storms though. So you don't want to be there when that happens.
Yeah. They probably got DoorDash there though. Maybe. All right, Jammerfan. We'll see you in the next one. Maybe the next time I do one with Jammer. He hasn't told me any plans when we're going to do one, but I'm assuming maybe within 3 or 4 weeks, probably.
Well, that's Shagdog, and I'm not Shagdog, and this is the Spit and Small interview.
There you go. And we'll see you on the next one, folks.
All right. Peace out, everybody. Bye.